y'all, Swababoos. It's Tuesday, totally Tuesday. It's very late. I just got in from work, so you'll probably see this on Wednesday. But yes, I hope everybody's had a great day. I had a pretty good shift at the restaurant. It's been pretty nice this week. I'm feeling the energy get more intense and more focused and more honed in with this Mars shifting into Leo. It's been really nice. I'm still feeling the hunter vibes. Are you guys feeling the hunter vibes? I was like Hunter Back at It Part 2 tonight. I was like the huntress, making it rain. So I hope you guys have been doing the same. I also ordered the Wild Unknown Alchemy Oracle. I didn't even realize Kim Kranz had snuck in a new deck, and I'm super excited. So in addition to our usual 4 cards, I pulled a couple of cards just for myself this morning, but I had a real urge to share it with the collective because I felt like it was right in line with our other themes. So I'm really trying to figure out, I want to incorporate this alchemy deck into our regular sort of lessons. I feel like we have these certain decks that really speak to our needs. Like the the archetypes deck is perfect for the anchor message for Monday. The Doreen decks are perfect for the Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm going to work these in somehow. Maybe I'll throw them in as like a twofer to add it to Tuesday. But let me know what you guys think of this new deck when you see it. I know you'll love it. Well, I started shuffling our Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. Oh, and by the way, if you are like, what's Totally Tuesday? Who's this person? She's completely insane. We do an oracle reading every Tuesday to check in with our manifestations and goals to see what we should be thinking about in order to expand into more of our potential and what we should be aware of as far as what we need to have a heads up about, in order to avoid falling, into our old patterns or falling prey to our, shortcomings or self-defeatism and whatnot. So our first card flipped over really quick. It was ready. It's ready, set, go. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. So yeah, Leo and Mars and Leo right now, go for it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're in our waxing phase from our Taurus new moon. So it's really important over these 2 weeks as the light builds towards our full moon that we are doing our due diligence to touch base daily with our main manifestations that we're trying to call in and create. This is when we're planting the seeds, right? And maybe this isn't going to manifest in 2 weeks or a month, maybe these are bigger dreams that, might be playing out over the next 6 months, right? Many times the new moons are times where we plant seeds, and then the harvest of that seed planted at that new moon will come to fruition 6 months down the road when that same sign is the full moon in 6 months. So break free, or I don't know why I keep seeing this and I keep saying break free because it looks like similar to another card, but maybe keep that in mind. Break free. Don't hold yourself back. Break free from the old patterns. Break free from anything that seems to be limiting or holding you down or anything like that. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desires. Now, one thing that we have been discussing recently about manifesting are the 4 phases of creation. And so that is the Kabbalistic phases of manifestation, the way that they're described Kabbalistically. And so each phase has a different level of desire that you are cultivating or nurturing that is driving your ambition to bring in the manifestation. So a quick rundown is in creation phase 1. That's when we have an idea, but we have what's called a passive desire. A passive desire is sort of just like a weak little like whim, it's a fleeting, fantasy or whatever, but you don't want it so bad that you're willing to put effort into getting it. You're not willing to make an investment or to go out of your way or to go all in. You're not willing to work for it and put in the effort to build the vessel yet. So that is just sort of like say you're not very thirsty and somebody's walking around and they're just like, hey, do you want a bottle of water? Like you're at like maybe like a family gathering or something, or an event or production of some kind, or a workshop, or like a convention, right? And there's just like free water everywhere. And you're not thirsty, and somebody just hands you one, and you're like, well, yeah, I mean, I didn't really want this. Now I'm gonna have to like carry around this water. I feel bad about wasting the plastic. Like, maybe I'll have one sip, but now I'm like burdened with this water. That is a passive desire. It's like somebody gives you something, but you didn't really want it, right? So think about that in life when it comes to you as the giver, not just the receiver. So when we're trying to receive our manifestations, we need an active desire so that we are persistent and determined, and we have energy and determination. And in the passive desire phase, there's nothing that's driving you really. And then there's no magnetism calling in what you're conjuring, right? What you're asking for, what you're putting out into the universe. So ready, set, go. Now's the time to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. So creation phase 2. You're like, you know what? Maybe this is a good idea. Maybe I do want to really do this. And it's really starting to sink in and take root in me. And I'm having even more of a desire, a stronger desire. And now I want to make an effort. And I'm really passionate about this. And I'm going to go all in. And I'm going to put my heart and soul into what I am doing. And that moment, that determination, that whole like I'm going all in and I'm really making the effort. And when you're putting that effort in and you're paying attention to the quality and the value of what you're adding, there's a lot of power in that. Your passion, the care, the attention to detail, that increases the potency of the efficacy of what you're doing. It heightens your magic. If you don't have that much passion and you're just sort of half-assing it or whatever, it's like you're not putting any magic into it at all. So the care, the passion, the focus, the devotion, the dedication, the attention to detail, caring, that is the magic sauce. So that's the active desire. Now, there's the next phase is phase 3, creation phase 3. In creation phase 3, you've been working hard at something. It's not really developing anything yet. There's no fruit being shown. You haven't been able to really enjoy the fulfillment yet. You're just sort of starting to fatigue. And, you're kind of like plateauing and you're spinning your wheels and you're like, wow, I've really put my ass on the line and I've really put skin in the game and I put myself out there and I was vulnerable and I overcame these things and I faced my fears and it's like I did everything right and I took a chance and I was wholehearted and I was courageous and brave and it still just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Like what's happening? Like why isn't my business taking off? Why isn't that my, the relationship working out? Why can't I get this right with my son or my daughter or my parents? It's like, what am I doing wrong? Am I cursed? That's the initiation of creation phase 3. It's a test to see if you will give up. It's the part of the manifestation process where you earn the vessel by building it when there's no guarantee of a payoff. Are you passionate enough about this thing? Are you connected to it? Is it your calling? Are you going to let anything stop you? Or are you going to take no for an answer? No, you're going to do whatever it takes at all costs, regardless of the outcome. Even if nothing pays off, you're still going all in. And you're still going to make an effort. And even if it never profits, it's like it's part of your purpose, so you just do it anyway. That is creation phase 3. where you have certainty in the light that no matter how bleak things look, even if you don't get the result of the thing you want now, all that work, all that effort is then put into a spiritual bank account that is setting you up for the real deal, right? But if you are disappointed and you fall into despair if the thing doesn't work out, then you lose all that investment. So you have to stay courageous. You have to keep your hopes. You have to keep the belief in order to keep all that energy stored and not spend it, not short circuit, not blow the fuse. So embrace that heart's desire. So if you continue on in phase 3, it's when you're proactive and you keep going no matter what, and you've really surrendered and you've let go and you've got trust there, and you're just like, let the chips fall where they may, but God help me, I won't be stopped. Only God himself can stop me, because I'm not leaving an empty vessel to gather chaos. I'm not quitting and leaving things unfinished and having weak moral fabric. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to be a person of my word, and I'm going to keep my word to myself, because that creates self-respect and self-esteem and self-love in me. And that lets other people around me know that they can depend on me too. So there's a lot that goes into that, right? So, and then it has to do with timing, right? Because sometimes, in life, the right thing for you could be the wrong thing if it's at the wrong time. Think about grapes. When they're going to be gathered for wine, they have to be ripe. You can't pull them off the vine before they're ready, or else you'll have just a waste. It's going to be a sour, bitter wine. So things have to be the right timing. And according to this, it's like, get your ass in gear. The time is now, right? And sometimes we take an action that plants a seed that we may not see the results of for a while, but follow your instinct and guidance right now. And if you feel led to do something and you don't feel like super reactive about it, and it's not just like an impulse, like you're scared you're going to miss out otherwise, but if you're like, have that solid calmness within you and you're like, yeah, I know, like, I know I need to, like, this is the time, this is, whatever, go for it. All right. What's our second card? Ooh. Oh, empowerment. Yay. Very nice. So you're more powerful than you realize, and it's safe for you to be powerful. So this actually brings to mind so you know how, you guys, I have the Straightforward Oracle, which is my custom Oracle deck that I've been writing. And I'm working on the second draft now, where I'm typing the copy in digitally so that I can do all the next steps. And today, the card that I was like typing really quick before I went to work was Cause Consciousness. And so this is a perfect time to bring that up as it relates to manifestation and the 4 phases of creation within Kabbalah. There are different ways to talk about consciousness and pairings of consciousness in Kabbalah. One of those pairings is builder consciousness versus destroyer consciousness. In any given situation, are you showing up being a builder? Are you building people up? Are you encouraging them? Maybe you have to be stern, but you're making them better at what they do, right? But what's your consciousness coming from? Are you trying to save a business, create a better environment, leave something better than you left it? Or are you hoping that something breaks down, right? Are you trying to destroy something in the process? Are you being, hard on someone to help them because they need that strong type of love? Or are you being hard on them because it's coming from your ego and you're reacting, right? So that's builder consciousness, destroyer consciousness. A good example of this in not an emotional situation is like, say, for instance, a plumber. Plumber's just trying to show up and do his job, right? But like the plumber, if he thinks, oh, I need business, so I hope people's plumbing goes afoul, then like almost like to wish for business, it's like almost like he's coming from a destroyer consciousness. But if he's like, I don't know, maybe there's a positive reason people could need plumbing. Like maybe he's like, oh, maybe somebody will have an addition onto their house and I'll get to like create new plumbing for them or whatever, or like update old plumbing that people just want to do for themselves. It's like there's a fine line. A mortician, a person who owns a funeral home, like in order for them to have great business, people have to die. Is that builder consciousness or destroyer consciousness? It's like, you know, sometimes it gets really nuanced there. So then there's the, you know, the juxtaposition between, are you in a state of sharing or are you in a state of taking, right? Think about a person in a group, like at a dinner, like, okay, so I wait on tables and there are a lot of business like groups that come into our restaurants, like a lot of business people and dates. And the business people, like, you know, you'll have this like group around and you can tell they all work together. And sometimes there's that person that's just, they just need to be the big like personality at the table. You know, they're holding court, but like they're just flapping their lips and listening to themselves talk just to hear themselves talk, and everybody's just like obliging them, but they're just like, oh my gosh, like we need to escape the table. Like everybody hates this person because they're always doing this. And this person thinks that they're sharing, right? Because they're entertaining everyone, they're telling stories and whatnot, but at the same time, like for everybody else, it's like it's sucking their energy, right? That's not a giving consciousness. That's a taking consciousness. That's like an energy vampire moment where that person, like where they're at, where they're coming from, and they may not even realize it, but it's like they're trying to like take all the energy from the table. Like, you know, the Debbie Downer from SNL, where it's like everybody's having fun, and then the Debbie Downer always comes up and she's like, oh, I wish I could have fun, you know, kind of thing. You're just like, oh, you know. So cause consciousness versus effect consciousness is what we need to be in our power and safe within our power and confident in our power. So cause consciousness is a consciousness that we need to adopt in order to build affinity with the light of the Creator. That way we can have vibrational resonance with what is in alignment with our divine path and with what is in alignment with the Creator. So to be more like the light and to have more influence in our environment and in the world around us, the more that we become more like the light, the more powerful we are. What is the light? The light is eternal. What I have been understanding about the word eternal is that it's not so much about linear time, always has been, always will be kind of thing. But eternal to me means unwavering. It means it doesn't fluctuate. It means it's perpetual, ongoing, without stopping, without fail. It's unconditional. So when we learn how to condition our energy or cultivate our energy in such a way that we can maintain like a stable state of inner peace, of confidence, of gratitude, of lightheartedness, of deservingness, of a sense of sovereignty and authority and self-control over our mind, where no matter what the circumstances are, we're just not that affected. Like we can kind of maintain our solid baseline. So the more consistent your energy is, the more powerful it will be in comparison to the energies that are like fluctuating around it, right? It's like, think of a tuning fork. When the tuning fork is hit, the notes or like the strings that are close to that pitch, like it's like they want to tune to the perfect pitch. They want to match it because it's so consistent, it's so clean, right? So think about that when you're thinking about owning your power and having a sense of empowerment. This isn't about grandiosity. It's not about being, you know, over the top and extra and having a bunch of bravado. This is a very quiet kind of power. You don't need to make a display of it at all. It comes from the inside. And the less, I don't know, bravado, like the bravado is just a facade anyway. It's not coming from a real place. So yeah, you don't have to go around being empowered and declaring to everyone that you're empowered now. Just quietly maintain consistent energy. All right. What's next? Divine Magic. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Y'all, there's a lot of different sorts of cards in here, like self-employment, tranquility, synchronicity, worthiness, like simplify your life. There's lots of other things, but I feel like this has been so on the nose for like manifestation 101. It's like, I don't know, it couldn't be more on the nose right now. So I feel like we are on the right track. I feel like we're doing good. I feel like we're getting our energy in the right place, in the right direction. And I feel like these cards are just confirming the most obvious steps to us. It's like, it's just mirroring back like, yeah, you're really empowered right now. Embrace that. Don't shy away from it. If you're feeling like you're being called and led towards something, trust your intuition. Like, this is good timing to jump on things right now. I know that Jupiter is expanding things. I can't remember what aspect is going on right now, but Jupiter is in, I feel like Taurus, or something to do with expanding love and money. I may be wrong about that, but just Jupiter is expanding. I'm pretty sure it's our love and money situation. So yeah, divine magic, magical energy, extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. So expect miracles. Get in that mindset of certainty. This is the thing that we haven't talked about yet. So we talked about cause consciousness versus effect consciousness. So effect consciousness would be like, oh, everything is uncertain right now, and I'm scared, and now I'm making decisions based on my stress, and I'm panic buying, and I'm panic saving, and I'm panic investing, and I'm panic whatever it is, right? I don't want to miss out on that. I have to sign up now. I have to get this now in order to get the bonus. You know what I mean? Like, that is effect consciousness. So certainty, effect consciousness is what we want to avoid, right? Because when we're affected, all of a sudden we are reacting, and we're not in our state of self-control, and we're not acting consciously with our free will. And so we're not using our divine inheritance. And at that point, we're in our lower human state, closer to animal consciousness, right? Of survival instinct. So certainty is related to the Hebrew word emunah, which is faith beyond reason. It is transcendent of reason. This is not lacking reason. This is not a person who has no logic, no wisdom, and they're just like all naive and willy-nilly. There's a difference. Transcending reason means I have logic, I have reason, I have eyes wide open, and I'm very realistic about the situation. I can see the circumstances, and by all accounts, the situation appears to be bleak. However, I know that the Creator has a plan in store for me. And I know that when I find my way to that plan, and all in good timing, that outcome will be the ultimate fulfillment for me. And I can trust that the universe is self-correcting, and that as long as I have absolute faith and certainty, and my heart is in the right place, and my actions are in the right place, and my thoughts are in the right place, then things will play out for my favor. Even if someone tries to foil you and sabotage you, that adversary's energy in the situation will be turned in such a way that it will all work out in your favor. It will backfire on the enemy, the opponent. And when I say the opponent, the adversary, I'm talking about the Satan. And there is a masculine version of that energy that tricks us and tempts us with our ego in all kinds of ways. And then there's a feminine version of that energy, the opponent, that tricks us up in all of those ways. And so the devil will set you up once for the trick that's like your test, and that's part of your growth process. But the feminine opponent will come in and make you feel guilty and beat yourself up and feel shameful and regretful and remorse, and throw you into a downward spiral of depression and self-loathing and despair. That is when you lose all those sparks of light. You can make a mistake and still be saved, still get out of it, still have the right consciousness and belief in the Creator, and have, remorse and really repent and make it right, and things can turn around in your favor, and you can be even more highly exalted because of it. But if you let yourself go into despair and lose hope, then you've lost all the energy out of that situation, all the ability to alchemize that within that energetic moment into sparks of light. So extra energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Expect miracles. That certainty is, I don't care what things look like. I know that the Creator can favor me at any moment, and something else can happen. I can be, set up in a windfall at any moment, or, you never know who you're going to meet in any minute that could give you an opportunity or what have you. So just stay in faith and expect miracles. A lot of the trials and difficulties we go through wouldn't be necessary if we didn't let our mind go into a downward spiral, and we didn't need the lesson again and again and again. So maybe we can stay ahead of it. I remember in our new moon lunation workshop a few days ago, watch that if you haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of reassurance in that reading, but when there's a lot of reassurance in a reading, I usually take that as a sign that things aren't going to look very reassuring at first. So yeah, no matter how things seem, no matter what happens or what unfolds, everything's going to be okay. All right, what's our last card for this? Make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. So 7 of Cups has been coming up for us a bunch lately, and that tells me that we're kind of in a dreamy state. We're in a state of fantasy. We're maybe even confused or like trying to weigh our options and we don't know what to do. And so when we are back and forth about something, that's called an inner conflicting desire. And it is, or an inner conflict that is, it's blocking your manifestation. It's keeping you from having that consistent, stable energy. So in order to properly manifest, in order to really get that signal strong and keep it out there, you have to be clearly decided and stick with that decision and don't take it back. So don't apologize for what you choose, right? If you make a mistake, whatever, like course correct. Sometimes the lesson is to make a mistake and just not make it a big deal, right? But choose something. Choose what you want. Choose what you really desire, but really choose with your heart, soul, mind, and strength, not to be wishy-washy about it. If it's scary, if it's nervous or whatever, just sit with it, be in it, and accept it. If you are not wanting to go in a certain direction, don't entertain it. Put it into it, nip it in the bud, take it off your plate. Because the universe loves a void to fill. Which brings me to our alchemy cards for the day. We pulled the void And we pulled speculum, glass. Aren't these gorgeous? I love these cards. They're just beautiful. I will read the void. So basically, the void right now is this liminal space that we're in. And I will read what the book says because these are new cards, but I'm no stranger to the void. The void is the vast sea of negative existence. It's unbeingness. It is a state of non-existence. It's on the other side of our reality as we know it, and even the non-physical reality. It's like there are mysteries and aeons outside of our physical reality, but the void is even beyond that. It's not absolute. It's the absolute. It's non-beingness. And so the void is all of that empty space that everything comes from. It's so weird because there is a space that is known as the endless light. But like on the other, like as you get further and further on the other side of that, it gets to be more and more nothing. And so the void is even beyond that. So the endless light comes from the void. It's one of the darkest mysteries, right? But from that void, from that place, and this is like the womb too, that holy womb, the sacred womb, where creation happens, where new life is created, where creation itself is gestating. And so, yeah, we're in that state right now where we're not really fully into this new life, this new self, this up level. We're in like these initiations for the whole year is what I feel like. I feel like we're sort of on a rite of passage this year into our new self, into that new life. And there's no way but through, right? It's something that we have to build. It's something that we have to earn. It can't be skipped forward. It can't be rushed through. So yes, embrace the void right now. I was just thinking of something really funny my friend said recently about the dark and seductive void. I lay prone at your feet. Oh my God. Yeah, just it said it all. I was like, yeah, that. Amen. Okay, the aether, the void. Liminal darkness. Oh wait, there's a comma there. Like, what's liminal darkness? Liminal, comma, darkness, comma, destiny. The void is a mystical riddle in and of itself. It cannot be understood by means of alchemy, chemistry, science, or spirituality. It astounds the most adept seeker and humbles the philosopher. From the depths of nothingness, all feelings and possibilities are birthed. Behind the curtain of our material world, the power of eternal spaciousness is at work. This card may appear at a time when something has been released, a relationship, a possession, a title. But the void is much bigger than any worldly entity. When an alchemist approaches the void, destiny shifts in the darkness. Like magnets, you are drawn to it as it is drawn toward you. Meditation is critical at this time. Just sit and breathe. Surrender to the vastness. There is an electricity between you and the void that is sacred and timeless. From its center, everything is born. Go deeper. Watch the movie The Never-Ending Story to ponder the stage behind the curtain. So ponder the stage behind the curtain. I actually spent 13 years in the stage behind the curtain. So I know all about thinking about action going on behind the scenes. Like something, it may not look like there's a lot going on, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes that's leading to the next thing. And I often think of creation and life as happening just that way. As an image, the void is a powerhouse. Use it as a point of focus in spiritual practice, in contemplation, or as an inspiration for creative work. The void may be interpreted as the God-sized hole that we are tempted to fill, the absence with something, anything. The void may be interpreted as the God-sized hole that we are tempted to fill the absence with something, anything. But the alchemist knows the work is to wait and observe. So instead of trying to fill that void, wait. Let the universe fill the void, because it will fill it with something that's the most fulfilling and in the most alignment with your true, authentic nature and your destiny and your dharma. Speculum. Glass. Transparency. Focus. Seeing. Glass transmits a sacred exchange between the alchemist and their work. Through the glass vessel, the alchemist sees their work, and the work sees the alchemist. What was once clouded in confusion becomes focused. What was once veiled becomes obvious. How are you currently seeing the world? What is your perspective? The glass card can be thought of as the gift of true perception. With it, you naturally focus on what is most central in your life. All else falls into the periphery. The next right action becomes clear. Glass is fragile by nature and requires regular cleaning. So find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. It's easy to slip into an old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's. So hold steady to your new It's easy to slip into an old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's. So hold steady to your new alchemical lenses. Their power is mighty. Oh, hold on. I want to say that again. The next right action becomes clear. Glass is fragile by nature and requires regular cleaning. So find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. It's easy to slip into an old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's. So hold steady to your new alchemical lenses. Their power is mighty. I think it was during our weekly energy forecast this week. It may have been the anchor message. But one of the messages this week, I remember there was something about, because of the merging card. There was something about being able to hold your own perspective. Don't feel like you have to match someone else's, whether you're negotiating or what, or whether I know I brought up writing a screenplay with somebody, for instance. It's very important that you put the story first. And it's not about being nice or placating someone's ego or not being difficult. Because if they're not as strong of a writer and they're just wanting to add in cute little details, your story is going to go all over the place and it's not going to have any focus and it's not going to have any direction. So if you're the one that sees that and they keep trying to add all this stuff that's going to get cut out anyway and it's going to dilute the plot, the real point of the story, then you need to stand up for yourself. You need to fight for the story. It's not about you. It's not about defending your idea. The play is the thing, is what Shakespeare would say. Put the egos aside. The show must go on. The play is the thing. The story is what's important. The performance, the art that we're all collaborating on. Not about us. It's not about receiving for the self alone. It's about receiving for the sake of sharing, right? So keeping your point of view, don't be closed off and like closed-minded, but your half of the facet of the diamond is important as well. So don't let yourself get diluted away. Hold strong to the identity that you've come to know in yourself and that you've come to cultivate. Because as you let people in this new level, it's going to be up to you. This is a new, fresh you. So you're going to be very prone to go back into default settings or taking on someone else's stronger, more stable energy that they've already been established in that mindset or that level that they're in. So be very careful about yourself as you're coming into focus and as you're coming into form and as your concrete is setting, right, in your new structure, in your new mold. Let's see, what are the other little notes? To go deeper, view Robert Smithson's sculpture map of broken glass, Atlantis. To ponder, the sand becoming glass. Some speak of rose-colored glasses that shift our perspective. Take inventory of what lens you are looking through. Is the glass muddy, colored, cracked, or crystal clear? Glass is a separator. Right? Glass is a separator. It puts a clear barrier between the observer and the observed. Ponder on this distance making and whether it is serving or hindering. Interesting. I'm going to say that again. Glass is a separator. It puts a clear barrier between the observer and the observed. Ponder on this distance making and whether it is serving or hindering. Interesting. Only you will know the answer to that. All right, you guys, one more quick time through. Ready, set, go. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. Empowerment. You're more powerful than you realize. It is safe for you to be powerful. Divine magic. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now, so expect miracles. Make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. Embrace the void for now. There's a lot of power to be had right now. Don't rush out of this liminal space. And it's all serving to help you see things more clearly. And this void is actually a protective womb that's here for you, to protect you, to give you safe passage while you're coming into focus here. Right? All right, y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful day tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night for our midweek reading. So go follow me on Liz_Taylor_Magick at Instagram, and you will be able to catch our Monday, Wednesday, Friday readings kind of midday, where you can see them photographed and written out. And then later is when we come on and do the videos and we talk about them in more detail. And we kind of tackle them from different angles. And so a lot of times that written post is different from what we talk about in the video. Otherwise, like this video, comment. That would be amazing. If you don't know what to put in the comments, just leave me a little sparkly stars and a unicorn or a crystal ball or something. It's up to you. If you can't choose, then just use the unicorn. It'll be good. Anything is great, because all the actions that are taken on this video help it get out into the algorithm so that other people can find these messages too. And yeah, so like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. And I will see y'all later. All right, ciao.